Hey everybody. So the vlog topic today is, are we too hard on men? So today it was just one of those days to where, oh, who is it? Let's see. Hey, Miss Debbie. So I'm gonna try to say hey to everybody, but sometimes when I get ready to start talking, I'm gonna just talk through. Okay, hey, I feel like, is it okay to call you Joe or you go by Joseph? Hey. Hey, Bo. I'm like looking to the side. Hey, Marquis. So our topic is, are we too hard on men? So before we get really into it, I want to tell you how I was inspired about this. I was inspired about this because I noticed that a lot of men are like putting comments and different things like that, and they're kind of like in defense mode. So I was like, okay, maybe we should talk about it. Like, do we need to talk? Like, I feel like we need to talk about it and just have a conversation. So any of the ladies that see this, I definitely want us to have a conversation about it, because I feel like this is an ongoing theme about men feeling like that women are just bashing them. And I know for me, that is definitely not the case. Like, I am not a person that bashes anybody. But I know that certain comments, they kind of hurt. Like, I definitely tell the truth, but I'm not a person that bashes people. But I feel like it's within our like society in general where men just, and men, if you agree, definitely let me know. Because if this is the case, give me a thumbs up so I know what that you guys are with me, because I really feel like that's what you guys are feeling like. So I want to talk about the female perspective, and I'm not saying I speak for all women, but I want to talk about the female perspective of it, and then I also want to talk about the male perspective, and that's where I need you guys to comment and things like that, to let me know what are men going through. Maybe women don't understand what you guys are going through, and that's why we're saying the things that we're saying and we're responding the way we're responding. So let's talk about it. This originally, I think I was talking to my cousin. I don't know if he's going to see this, but I was talking to my cousin, and he was just talking about one of his friends is going through a situation where he's trying to get custody of his children. And basically the mom is just kind of messing up, and now he's trying to get custody. And it was basically a situation, without the details, because I really don't know all the details. It was basically a situation where he needed to kind of step up and get custody. And he is not, that is not the first story I've heard like that. I'm hearing these stories all the time. So single dads, let me get a thumbs up, a heart button if you're single dads, if you know the single dad. But I'm hearing this all the time about men having to get like custody of their children, and women doing things like that men have been doing for a number of years, are known to be to have left their kid, like abandonment and things like that. So it was like one of those situations, neglect and stuff like that. So I thought about it like, you know what, we say a lot of negative things about the lies and the manipulation and things like that, but shout out to the single dads. Definitely big ups to the single dads out there. But this is our position as women. Me and my bestie, we were just talking about this. So our position is that these are the kind of things that women have been doing for a really long time. So we have been like where we're left with a situation where the guy is left and he's doing his thing, and we're left to have to do it on our own. So it's like I know my first impulse is not to say that is an amazing thing that you're doing because you're a single dad. Like, my first impulse is I expect you guys to do it. I expect the best in you from you. So I expect you guys to do that. If it's your child, like if she's not doing what she needs to do, then, you know, you got to take care of your child. So I expect that, but it's kind of like you guys almost want us to applaud you guys more for doing things like that. And I'm not really sure if that's the case. Please tell me I'm wrong, because I just feel like you guys are wanting credit, and sometimes the women are not giving you, I don't know if the respect or the credit that you deserve for that. So that's like one thing. I don't think that, ultimately, I don't think that we're too hard on you guys, but I think that you guys are taking some of the comments hard, so I'm not really sure though, because I still don't know what your different opinions are, but I don't personally think I'm too hard. I think I've given too many chances, and my friends and my family, like every woman I know, has just given too many chances, and that is why they came to the conclusion that they've come to. However, one thing that I still see is that sometimes there's a double standard. So sometimes there's just a double standard, and it's like, okay, if a man were to do a certain thing, then that's not okay. But if a woman does it, then she can kind of get away with it. So I will give you guys that sometimes you do still deal with the double standard. For example, I used to have clients when I was working with people all the time. I had clients, hey Sean, I had clients to where they would come in and say, the single dads, that kind of thing, and they would come in and say things like, I just don't feel like I'm getting the help. I don't feel like I'm getting what I need because I'm a single dad, but let me be a single mom, and then I get all kinds of compassion. And I think some of that is because within our society, men are just looked at as still strong, so we're expecting as a society you guys to be able to handle it. So I don't feel like you do get the same, like people don't look at you the same way. So if you're like a single dad versus a single mom, I feel like people are a little more compassionate towards the single mom. So you guys get that. I'll give you that. I think the same thing with like infidelity and stuff like that, I must admit. Hey John, I must admit that with the infidelity and things like that, if a man gets cheated on, then we're not as compassionate versus if a woman gets cheated on. So, but some of that is because of the roles. Like men are not known to be emotional. So these days I feel like men are being more emotional about things than they've been. So I'm not really sure, but that's kind of like, I feel like the roles of females and males have changed some. So not really sure what that's about and if it's going to stay this way. Curious to see what you guys think about that. If you really think that, where did all this come from? So that's kind of my take on if we're too hard on men. I definitely believe that there's a double standard. I definitely don't think that we're too hard on men, because I feel like you guys are supposed to be the strong ones in our society. So I don't think that you can really be too hard on the people that are supposed to be like the leaders and all of that kind of thing. But I'm kind of wanting to know with this, I don't know, like I just saw a post, and this really kind of ticked me off, but I just saw a post where, not the post, but it was basically the comments that ticked me off, where he said, fellas, men are not, women are not always bitter, but sometimes they're just tired. And I feel like that's kind of where that comes from when you guys feel like we're being too hard. I think it comes from us just giving men in general chance after chance after chance with different issues, different type of thing, the benefit of the doubt over and over and over again. And then ultimately we come to the same conclusion. So with all that being said, I don't think we're too hard on men. But there's situations that women do need to take responsibility for as well. So, for example, what was it? I think when I originally posted this, I connected it to the R. Kelly, that whole scandal with R. Kelly and stuff. And I just like my take on that, because it's like, all is viral. So my take on the thing about the R. Kelly scandal is that I feel like we're still not hard enough on men, because otherwise he wouldn't have been able to pull something like that off for so long. And to be honest, like I know a situation right now that where it's the same. It's like a R. Kelly situation. Like men have been doing this kind of stuff for years, where dating, younger teenagers, and then they become of age, and then they continue to date. So I'm not really sure. I think there's some grotesque stuff going on. So yeah, all that to the side, and just the whole dating like younger and all that kind of stuff. It was kind of connected to the last vlog that I did when I was talking about do looks matter, and I was talking about dating younger people and stuff like that. And there was a lot of guys that just felt like, well, if she's of age, then it's okay. But the fact of the matter is that there's that big gap. There is such room for manipulation. So I definitely don't think we're hard enough again on men, because if we were hard enough, some of this stuff they wouldn't be able to do. And I think that some of this is because we just have, like, women, we just have really, really big hearts. So we might call you out on some stuff sometimes, but at the end of the day, we love you and we still want to protect you, especially when it comes to our boys, like our sons and our husbands. I know when I was married, I was like nobody could say anything about my it's my ex-husband now, but nobody could say anything about him. I might say something about him. He might have been doing me wrong or whatever, but I would not allow anybody else to say something about him. And that's pretty much how women are. But at the end of the day, though, when we are done, we're done. So I think that's kind of the vibe that you guys are picking up of us being too hard on men. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Are we too hard on men? Are we too hard? Do you think that there is a double standard? Those are my questions. Is there a double standard? Are we too hard on men? How do we fix this? So I didn't really see anybody. I'm going to take some time just to, I said hi to some people, but I didn't really see anybody commenting either way. Yes or no, if we're hard on men or women. I saw some people come through and saw some thumbs up, so thank you for the love, but I didn't really see. So definitely comment. I definitely want to hear what you guys think about this. Are we too hard? Because now we can have a conversation about it. Maybe there's some things that we can fix if there's some things that I have missed. But to wrap this all up, if I don't see, let me see if I see, thank you for the hearts. To wrap this all up, I did talk about my little Ipsy glam bag in the last post. And this time I've been trying different things. I love to try different things. So this time I've got these, I don't know if you can see, or if you notice, these long lashes on. And these are not my favorite, but I wanted to know also from you guys what you guys thought, like if you like the natural lash or the more of the glamorous lash, because I'm definitely thinking about starting some things with selling lashes. So want to know what you think about that too. And I know I'm all over the place at this point, but I'm going to say it anyway. I also think, what is that? From Miss Universe. Okay, so Mark, what you saying here? What you from Miss Universe? I don't get it. I don't get it. So say it again. Maybe I missed it because I'm like reading sideways too, because I got my phone switched around. So let me know. But anyways, this is like a dating vlog as well. So one thing that I definitely forgot when I was talking about all of that is just being too critical. So one thing that we can do to fix this as far as being too hard on men, because I think that personally, I'm not too hard on men. I'm not too hard on men, but I think that some women are. So if you're out there dating and you are just like picking every guy apart, that's definitely how you stay single. Now, if they are not what you want, that's one thing. But when you're not even giving them a chance to be what you want, that's a totally different thing. So I want to hear your comments about that as well. Definitely want to hear your comments about, do you think that women are just like picking men apart, and they're just like, guys are really coming from a genuine place to date a woman and then she just finding something wrong? So that's another conversation, and that is definitely a way to stay single. And it's definitely a sign of the reason why you're still single. And I've been guilty of it, definitely. But I definitely had to go through the process of where I had to find what I wanted. Like, I really had to clarify what I wanted. So Mark, I see your question. You said, where am I from? I am from Ohio. OH. IO is what people are supposed to say after that. But anyway, yeah, I'm from Ohio, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. So in the comments, if you are watching the replay, this is what I want you to talk about. Are we too hard on men? In general, wherever you want to take it. I also want you to talk about the double standard, wherever you want to take it. I gave you some examples. And then another thing that I want to hear about is if when you're dating, you think women are too critical about men. Let's see what John is saying. I don't think anyone should be harder on somebody. Now that's a good point. He said, I don't think anyone should be harder on somebody than than they are on themselves. So I agree with that wholeheartedly. And this is actually, I'm glad you said that, because we are about to wrap it up, but I think I'm so glad you said that, because one of the reasons why that women may be hard on men is because they're so hard on themselves. So they expect so much from themselves that when they're dating somebody, they're expecting the absolute best from that person too. And that's where you end up getting disappointed if you don't get what you expect. So that's a really good point though. But then on the flip side, devil's advocate, some people, they're expecting more from that other person than they do themselves, and they're not even catching it. So either way with that one. But on that note, I asked you guys a lot of different questions. So please respond to me in the comments. And next week, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go the Valentine's Day route. So we're going to talk about that. So let's get ready to talk about finding your lifetime Valentine's next week. Well, actually, I'm going to upload. That one's pre-recorded. But anyway, I still want some comments and stuff. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. And until next time, like, share, subscribe. I'm just starting on YouTube. So like, share, subscribe. And I appreciate all your love. Goodbye, loves.